What's up, Internet? Welcome back to Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector. In the last episode, we went on this this expedition with Eugene, which we've bottomed out at the very end of the last one. We're on our last legs here, but I think we're going to probably travel back, but we stopped just so that way we had a little bit of a clean break. I don't see the need to make things worse for myself, but I'm certainly going to try and see if this helps us in any way. Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything happening here that's going to help me. Let us... Oh, actually, I could re-roll the lower dice. But am I going to get anything out of this if I do this? There has to be something worth... +1 stress. That doesn't affect us. Oh, great. Okay. Nice. Let's see what happens. Oh, shit. Okay. Scattered amongst the restaurant, blah, 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 blah. There's good scrap here if you're willing to search. But I am not willing to search. I'm leaving. I am leaving. You can now travel back to the hub, except... Yes. Okay. I am not pushing it. Eugene has spent the journey back to the far spindle, avoiding Seraphin as best as he can. It might be that he's afraid, but you get the feeling it's more likely that he's been making himself scarce out of a genuine sense of regret. Seraphin, however, doesn't see his behavior so favorably. Slimy shit won't even show his face. Seraphin complains loudly as he finalizes docking. Put us in a Spacer's crew sights with no care for anyone but himself. Enough. Seraphin turns to shoot you an irritated look, but as he does, you see his eyes jump towards the door behind you. You hear the rustle of movement behind your head, and you turn to see Eugene in the cockpit's doorway, a rare, serious expression on his face. I owe you all an explanation. His voice is low and steady. Believe it or not, this was not my plan. Yeah, your plan was to find the loot in that wreck and split with it, wasn't it, big man? Seraphin glares at Eugene. No. Eugene gives him a tired look. It wasn't. Hear him out, Seraphin. Bliss cuts in from the back of the cockpit. Vesna has been searching for a ship. Eugene looks over your heads at the far spindle. An infamous ship. Seems like she already had a ship, Seraphin interrupts. That was part of the problem. Not a rig. Eugene looks down towards him. A fraction drive ship. An interstellar ship. That seems to shut Seraphin up. And you don't blame him. An interstellar ship here in the belt? That's tech from the core systems. Why didn't you say? I shouldn't even be telling you now. Eugene frowns. Word gets out that there's a factory fresh fraction ship somewhere in the belt. People kill for less. He shakes his head. Gangs kill for much less. You're telling me there's a fraction ship that no one has ever found that's been sitting here? Since when? Seraphin shakes his head. Since the collapse? Believe it or not, that's exactly it. Eugene looks around to you. Vesna put me on the trail. She wanted me to find his location for repayment. He looks away. An old debt. But the moment I found the data that verified its existence, that confirmed the ship was out there. I couldn't give it to her, and that's when you found me. Why keep it from her? Eugene folds his arms. You may have met Vesna, but you don't know her. Eugene meets your eye. She's one of the last people in the belt who should have a ship like that. Well, no one has the ship now if it even exists. Need I remind you that it wasn't there? Seraphin shrugs. Your data was a bust. No. Eugene shakes his head. It was there. Once. Those wrecks? Those were the ships that fought over the fraction ship. A bunch of Solheim corporates who wanted to get out of the system when it all came down. And that ship was their ticket. The Aphelon Path. Eugene looks out at the far spindle. It was there, but someone moved it, hid it, long before we got there. Leave the belt? Sign me up. Eugene laughs. You and me both, Sleeper. Eugene inhales long and deep. I'm sorry, Sleeper. He looks at Bliss and Seraphin, and to you both as well. I wanted to keep this secret. I wanted to find the Aphelon Path, and I knew that, if I did, you would understand. Still, I was wrong to manipulate you. He bows his head. But I'm not done. He raises his head, his gaze hard now. I will find the ship, and I will leave the belt. How will you do that? Seraphin shoots him a sly look. With no ship of your own and Vesna at your back? Eugene ignores him and moves closer to you. Sleeper, I will uphold our deal, and I will serve on your crew. And when I have news of the Aphelon, Aphelion? Yes, I think it's Aphelion. You will know. That is what we agreed. Seraphin turns to you. I know. I always say it, but this time you have to listen, Sleeper. Seraphin gestures to Eugen. This guy is no good. I've known his type. Don't bring him. This could be your escape too, Sleeper. Eugen meets your eye. Get off my ship. No, I think he just made a mistake. I'm willing to... I think Vesna's worse. Okay, you're in. Seraphin sighs, getting up from his seat. You've got a lot to prove. He passes close to Eugen as he leaves. You better get on with it. Eugen meets his eye, but says nothing. Once Seraphin's gone, he looks to you and nods. Thank you. He turns and leaves, too. Quite the ragtag group we have here, Bliss nudges past you. I know you understand what a second chance means for you, Sleeper. They smile. But I'm glad to see you understand that others need the same. They slip out before you can respond. You stare out the cockpit of the lights of the far spindle. You hope Eugen understands his mistake. And you hope even harder that Vesna doesn't hold a grudge, even though you know for a fact she does. You sigh. The bunks are going to need expanding at this rate. Yeah! Recruit Eugen to your crew. Oh, here we go. Also, excellent rolls. I haven't commented on that yet. This might be the best roll of the entire playthrough so far. 3 4s and a 5. Sleeper. Cadet drifts from the shadows outside Bliss's bay, looking around nervously as she approaches. Seems like I'm gonna need to call in that favor. Her face is pale and deathly serious. Are you okay? She doesn't seem to hear you, distracted by a group of spacers gliding noisily down the passage behind her. She waits until they pass. Someone hits stripline. No idea where Kamal is. Bunch of goons tearing the place apart as we speak. She screws up her face in pain. Even tried to grab me, but those muscle hits are slow. Who would attack a courier? No idea. She shakes her head. These were typical rent-a-thugs, and could have been anyone with chits to burn. Remember that package I asked for your help with? The one that was bothering me? Remember you mentioning it. I reckon it's got something to do with it. The job was a bust, an express run all the way to the underhang, but when I got there, no one home. She's whispering now, leaning closer. The place was smashed up, like someone got there first. Should have dumped the package and run, but I brought it back like a good girl, stashed it in a safe spot at stripline. Thought the sender might come to recover it, and when they didn't, well, I got curious, popped it open. She shakes her head. Stupid thing to do. Inside was a drive encrypted to hell and back. When I ran into you, well, I heard sleepers are good with data, with tech, so I thought you might be able to take a look at it. She shrugs. Now stripline's trash, too. Here's the thing. She glances around. Back when I popped it open, I noticed the drive had a dispatch marker. Hexport. Could be connected to. Hexport getting it atomized? Yeah, that's where I'm at, too. This thing was sent out from there just before it got cooked. She pauses, and with the kind of attention I've been getting the past couple cycles, she slips a hand terminal from her bag, taps a couple times, then holds it to you. Cadet stares at you from the screen, straight-faced and pale. Beside her picture, you see, in block capitals, Spindlejack KD754 in breach of far spindle codes B12 and F34. Reward for information leading to capture, considered dangerous. Dickheads blasted it out on the transit channels. Every Spindlejack, hauler, and freight carrier is going to be watching for me. She pulls back the hand terminal angrily, stuffing it away in her bag. Something's going on. This is too much. No shit. She snaps her head to the side, her eyes flashing with anger. It's time for that favor, Sleeper. She meets your eye. My connections are burned. Hell, my whole career is gone. I need to fight back. If I walk away, there's nothing to walk away to. She softens a little. I need your help. What can I do? I need you to get the drive. She takes a breath. If they want it that much, then I can use it to buy my way out of this shit show. And I tucked it away somewhere safe, so my guess is they haven't gotten it yet. You just slip in, I'll give you the location, and you pull the thing out. She folds her arms. Should be simple. None of this is simple. Just snatch it and go. Don't overthink it. Look, this thing turns out to be worth something, you'll get your due. All I want is my life back. The drive is in the workshop. There's a loose panel behind the air bike rack. She leans in. It's taped to the back of the fuse box inside. I've got to keep heading down Spindle to the overhang, past the ends of the transit tunnels. No one will rat me out there. She glances around. I'll come find you when it's done. I've still got some network access. I'll know when you go in. She winks, offering no further explanation. My bike's locked up nearby. I'm gonna hop. She pauses. Do me this favor, then we're clear. Stay safe. Doing my best, sleeper. She gives you a mock salute. She slips back into the shadows, and a few moments later, you hear the percussive pulse of an air bike accelerating away. You know at least what it's like to be on the run, to flee your to. Whoa, hello, come on, I can speak, I promise. You know at least what it's like to be on the run, to flee your life. And in that, you feel an empathy, a connection with Cadet. But from every other angle, this thing looks like bad news, the kind a sensible person would steer well clear from. And perhaps you would steer well clear if it wasn't for one detail that is stuck in your mind. The drive is from Hexport. Is that all enough to send you down Stripline in search of that drive? Only time will tell. Okay, so this is the only thing I don't think I've really done, the Nemba thing. And this is basically a no-go for me. I would need straight 6s for that to be worth it. Spindle Trade Hall. How am I doing on... I might have to get some more supplies just so I can move. Geyer's Geyer. Okay, this is for food. We're good there. Signal station. Right, this is work, which we can do. And then this is gambling. Where is the, Oh, here it is. Okay, the strip line is nested amongst other units, each with a mess of ducts and access passages. There must be a back door or a way to make one. I'm down to try this one with danger because it'll get us further in. Nice. Okay, we lost energy, but that's okay. You make progress mapping the vents and ducts behind strip line, but it's exhausting. Maybe we try another 4 and then do the other 4 here. Nice. Okay, we lost energy. That's okay. I'm worried about continuously trying this, but we could... Ooh. And then I'm going to keep it safe. We're going to go one more here. And then after this, we could really start moving. You slide the loose panel away from the wall, letting it float there beside the air bike rack. Behind it, in the dark, you see the blinking lights of the fuse box. A noise nearby draws your attention for a moment. The scrape of a sliding door, maybe? Or just some old system cycling in the walls. It took long enough to gain access to the Stripline Express bike garage, and longer still to find a safe route to the air bike racks, but you're almost there. You've seen and heard the hired muscle searching and guarding this place, but you've been lucky enough not to come face to face with them, yet. You turn back to the darkness behind the panel. If what Cadet said is right, the drive is taped to the back of the fuse box in front of you. You reach through and around, slowly, carefully, and your hand settles on something cold and metallic in the dark. It's taped firmly to the box. You pull at it, but it doesn't budge. A quiet rattle echoes from the dispatch office next to you, and you freeze for a second. It seems Cadet was a little too enthusiastic with the tape. Oh, shit, we have equal chance here, but engage is the thing we're not good at, right? Let's peel the tape. Neutral. Okay, great. You close your eyes and feel for the seams of the tape. Taking your time, you pick at it, working each piece away from the drive. You hear a clattering sound nearby as you peel off the final piece and the drive spins into your hand. Time to move. You slip the drive inside your coat and kick away from the wall, gliding back towards the maintenance corridor you entered from. As you cross the bike garage, you hear voices in the dispatch office next door. Just as you tuck yourself in the cool darkness of the maintenance corridor, a screech indicates the opening of a door from the office next door. Voices rumble through the room, and you quickly and quietly push yourself deeper into the guts of the building. Too close. Barely daring to breathe, you carefully make your way through the maze of passages that brought you here. There are dog legs and dead ends, now familiar. Eventually, you spot a thin slit of light ahead, marking the loose panel you levered open to gain entrance. You take a deep breath, almost there. As you reach the gap, you freeze. Voices rumble from beyond, and peering through, you see 2 figures in dark clothes searching the chaotic bay beyond the strip line. Your eyes are drawn to the dark, boxy weapon one holds at their side. Shit. You hiss silently to yourself, your eyes searching for a path through. Again, I think we have to wait. Nice. You wait, silent and still, as the figures search. They split and drift across the bay. You take the chance, sliding open the panel and slipping behind the scrap and boxes at the edge of the room. You work your way around until you can't get any further. You kick off hard, making a dash for the far side of the bay and the public passage beyond. There's a hiss and the guttural chatter of a pressure valve as an air bike pulls up beside you in the passage. Cadet leans over and grabs the collar of your coat. Hop on. In a moment, you're on the back of the air bike, clutching the strap of Cadet's bag as she guns it down the passage, the air resistance almost ripping you from the thin seat. You lean against her back and let out a sigh, the drive pressing into your ribs beneath your jacket. You did it. Yes! Still alive back there? Cadet's voice brings you back from the hypnotic rhythm of the tunnel lights rushing past the air bike. She slows the bike with a rapid series of hisses. You realize she's brought you back to the passage outside Bliss's Bay. You try to understand the route she took, a long loop through the branching transit tunnels of the station, but give up. You can let go now. She straightens up and you unhook your fingers from her bag strap, separating yourself from her back. You push off the bike gently and float in the passage beside her. You okay? Look pretty rough back there. She smiles. Appreciate you putting it all on the line for me. It's all good. She nods. You got the drive then? You fish the drive out of your jacket and hand it over. That's the one. She squints at it. Should have chucked it when I had the chance. You get your first good look at it, and there's not much to see. A small lump of solid-state memory with a few markers on the case. You spot a yellow hex amongst them. Hexport. This better be worth it. She sighs. I never promised profit, sleeper. She slides her bag around her shoulder to the front and slots the drive neatly into a pocket. Answers? Maybe. I know someone in the scatter yards who can crack anything. She'd be my first port of call to crack this thing open. She stretches her shoulders. And I should make myself scarce from the spindle anyway, before those dickheads catch up with me. Come with us. Appreciate the offer, but I think it's best if we go our separate ways for now. Okay. 2 targets are harder to track than 1. She cycles the pressure valve on the bike impatiently. Cadet leans away from her bike, squinting out of the viewing window at your ship behind. That yours? She doesn't wait for an answer. If I'm not mistaken, that old thing is going to struggle to reach the scatter yards, unless you've added a hasnav suite. Hasnav? Yeah, belt between here and scatter yards is drowning in debris. Worse since Hexport. You'll need hazard navigation to make the crossing safely. Lodix Syndicate created the tech to help their tankers cross the belt. Common knowledge. Cadet nods at your ship. Maybe, if you head up to Wellspring, you can barter or steal a suite, she adds casually. Here. Cadet unties a bag lashed to her bike frame and holds it out to you. Not enough here for a refit, but maybe you'll find some use for him. You take the bag and something clinks inside it as you do. You open it to see a couple of engine components. I was going to use them to boost her. She taps the frame of the air bike, but you deserve them. She meets your eye, then looks away. Not like I'll be doing any runs for a while anyway. Thanks. It's nothing. Like I said, you deserve them. She flexes her fingers on the bike handles, eager to be away. Cadet's air bike stutters and purrs, trembling in the air like an arrow ready to be loosened. See you around. She winks and guns the throttle, zipping off down the passage with a pulse of air that ripples through your clothes. You stare after her as she goes, the bag of your components still hanging from your hand. You realize as you look down the passage that you never asked how Cadet plans to get to the scatter yards. That question, like a score of others, will have to wait until you run into her next. Although, you have a feeling she will find a way to slip away before you can ask them next time, too. You head back towards your ship to stow the components, idly wondering if you could justify buying an air bike to Seraphin as you do so. Yeah, nice. Okay. New drive available, minor drive complete, and +1 upgrade point. We have 4 upgrade points. That's excellent. Okay, so investigate Hexport. So we'll meet Cadet in the scatter yards, which is where? Oh, that's all the way over here. So to get there, we would have to go all the way around to the scatter yards. But they said we have something in Wellspring we can get, right? So Wellspring seems to be our next big tentpole thing, and we'll get through Flotsam just to kind of get there. That might, I mean, we're going to have to make that choice, right? So Flotsam, Wellspring, scatter yards. I think we're there. I think we finally have to do it. So we don't have a ton of money. What I want to do though is If I do come back, I want to try to progress this clock, so that would be great. Okay. Negative outcome, that's fine. Engine components. Alright, this is fine for now. Let's get supplies. Now, do I want... I feel like I have enough fuel for now. Do I increase the number... I feel like we should just fill supplies. That's just safer. And we have a little bit of money to work with. I feel good about that. And now here is our big... Here's our big question. Oh, it's not engage, it's endure that I always... They're too close of words. Actually, we have 3 words that start with EN as part of our skills. So we can make interface really good, or we can punch up one of the other skills. I don't know if I don't know if I want to... I don't use push enough, and I feel like I wouldn't. I think I'm better suited to punch this up. Now, where are the... Can I see my crewmates? What kind of people they are? Here we go. So, the arrows, this, and engineer. So, this one, this one, this one, this one. And then I have the plus on mine. Okay, so that's good. So, between the people on my team, we kind of have everything covered, which is great. But in terms of what skill should I... Well, what's actually hurting us right now? Is there a skill that I haven't been able to use other than endure? Because obviously endure I can't do. That I will say, I wish there was like a... I wish you could do like 10, right? Just to get it up. 1. Just so it's not negative. That... I know you want to have a positive and negative. That's kind of part of building a character in these kind of RPGs, but I would love to just get an ability to like make this a little better, you know? But that said, I do really want to pull one of these in, but I don't know which one I should do. What were we struggling with even in the last mission? Was it it was something that only Eugene could do, right? So I think that's... Yeah, because only he can do this, but I can't now do that. Oh, and I don't know what... Oh, I guess Seraphin might be down for the count officially now, so that's why we get other crew members. I think Engineer might be the safe one here to do. Because I've been pretty good with these other ones. Maybe we wait. Actually, maybe we do the RPG thing and wait until we actually need to use them, and then we'll punch them up. Because we could do this almost any time, right? Okay. I think we're gonna travel. I think we finally can. We have supplies. We have fuel. We have money. We've done a lot of what could be done here, and I think we need to progress the game, right? Let's get it going. To Flotsam. And here it comes. It's hard to tell where Flotsam ends and the ships parked at its many docking bridges begin. As Seraphin docks with the station, you realize that the rig now looks like just another piece of accumulated technology, one more bit of driftwood added to the raft. I love this place. Seraphin smiles as he shuts down the engines. You never know what you'll find. You've been here before? Yeah, back when I first came to the belt. The crew I signed on with used to run salvage jobs out of here. Fun place to spend your wages. You see Bliss eyeing the station with what looks like both horror and fascination. You see the seals? They point out some twisted assemblage of ship parts. Total cowboy welds. They could pop any moment. Seraphin waves away their concerns. Oh, that's just the outer layer. I heard there's 6 or 7 in all. If one fails, it's no problem. He stretches and turns to you. You've got to taste some of the stuff they grow in Old Takahi? He kisses his fingers. That's the good shit. Oh, great, Bliss sighs. So many layers of redundancy and fallbacks that you have no hope of isolating a leak and fixing it. They wrap on the wall of the rig. Sounds like a ship I know. I agree with Bliss. They smile with you as you join in with the joke, but Seraphin doesn't look impressed. She got you out here, didn't she? He looks between the two of you. No sense of gratitude. I was joking. Bliss looks a little hurt and drifts out of the cockpit, shaking their head. You go to follow, but Seraphin puts a hand on your shoulder. Sleeper. He looks suddenly serious. Remember what I said about getting checked out? There are artificers all over this place. It'll take a bit of searching, but we need to know what's going on with you. He meets your eye. That's why we're here. Good. Seraphim nods. Let me know what they say. I'm gonna go see if any of my old haunts are still open. He drifts out of the cockpit with a mock salute. Catch you later. You're left alone in the cockpit with a view of Flotsam's chaotic structure. You look over the multicolored plating. It does, you admit, have a certain charm. Oh, so this is a small little place. Okay, cool. So this is great, because then it will allow us to kind of dot around a little bit more. So Far Spindle is kind of a little bit of a bigger hub compared to the other spaces. We're going to need more fuel, though, if we're going to go... Well, we can go back to Far Spindle, but we're going to need a lot more fuel if we're going to head to Holmes Rock and then forward to Wellspring, right? Okay, cool. So I'm going to call it here, though, for this episode, and we'll explore Flotsam in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're liking this playthrough. It's definitely gotten a lot more calm since we settled at the Far Spindle and found Bliss and everything. I'm excited for what comes up next. Please give this video a like and subscribe if you want to see future episodes, and we'll see you in the next one.